Brows, brows, brows. Eyebrows are the most defining feature on the face, and of course, at SENNA, we only believe in beautiful, full, groomed eyebrows. As you can see, Nikki doesn't have that definition. She has a beautiful face, but the definition on the eyes is lacking, and when you have a great perfect brow, it really completes the face. It sets the stage for a beautiful makeup, and it also can make you look younger, like at least by 10 years. It can give you a lift, and it makes your eyes look bigger. So for Nikki, we created a product called Brow Definer Duo. This is an amazing, amazing set because it has a wax, pomade, which gives texture, and a powder, a brow powder that you can mix with the wax pomade to create that texture where you don't have brows. It's made for someone that doesn't have the brows, the full brows that we all want. I'm going to use my Brow Pro brush. This is a new brush. It has a very firm tip where you can actually create real looking hair with this tip, and then it has your blending brush on the end in a spoolie form. So the first thing you want to do is map out where the brow needs to be. So let's do that first. I'm going to take the brow powder with the angle tip, and we're going to map it out. So what we're going to do is, you want your brow to begin approximately where the eye begins. So it's about right there. We're going to put a little dot right there. Do you see that? So you'll make it a little darker here. Okay, so that's where the brow begins. Then where the arch lies, at the end of the iris. So let's make a mark right there, the powder. And then the end of the brow is where the nose and the eye intersect. So that is approximately the points that we're going to stay within. But getting the fullness, the thickness of the brow, that's the trick. So how I discover that is I place the wand, the brush, at the end, at the corner, the opposite corner, and I go across. Do you see that is where the line should be? So her brow naturally would be right here. So what we want to do is fill it in with our Brow Shaper Duo and make it look like real hair. So I'm going to start. So this side is the wax side. And as you can see, it's got a little tint in it. I just love this color. And we're going to take the angle side of the brush, and we're going to paint on the wax pomade where we drew in our marks, our points. Then we're going to take the brow powder. I'm using blonde on Nikki because she's so fair, of course. We do have brunette, which is very neutral, and we have ebony for the darker skins, which I'll be using on my next model. And what we're going to do is we're going to place it on the wax. But you see, I'm making stroke lines. So I'm imitating the look of hair, because hair goes in an upward motion, and then it comes down and across like this. Now you can start seeing the brow to take shape, starting it to take shape here. So. And you can see also how it's beginning to really give her a frame above her eye. That's making her eye look bigger, making her features stand out. If you also need to add more pomade, go right ahead. You can mix, go back and forth with the product. What the pomade is meant for is that it creates texture, it creates thickness and texture where there is no hair. Because if we were just to put on powder, it would look too smooth. Hair has texture, and that's what's so great about the pomade. It creates hair-like texture. So it is definitely for those sparse areas, or for those of us that are really lacking in the brow department. Keep pressing it on. And voila, she has a brow. What do you think? Look at the difference. Is that amazing? And it looks like real hair. Now to finish, we must set with Brow Fix X. This sets the color and shape all day. This is a very important step, and you don't want to miss this step. So we take the gel, which also has fibers in it, and the fibers help to build more brow hair as well. And it has conditioners in it. So this is something that you do not want to forget Brow Fix. Don't leave home without it. Repeat this on the other side. And now, doesn't she have rock star brows? Full brows are in. You can have them with Brow Definer Duos from SENNA Cosmetics. Now, Jennifer's brows have a different problem. She has beautiful brows, but as you can see, there are sparse areas, much different than Nikki, where she virtually had no brows. So let's point out the areas on Jennifer's brows that need correcting. First of all, they're a little bit sparse in the front. This one has a higher arch and it's a little sparse in the tail. As you can see, the arch is not as high on this side. Sparse in the front, sparse at the tail. So this is the area that we are going to add the Brow Shaper Duo. And I'm using the ebony color and of course using my favorite Brow Pro brush, brand new. So we're taking the wax pomade on one side with this firm brush. But first you want to always brush up the eyebrows. This gives them a fuller look and it grooms them to look the best that they can. So what we're going to do is take the pomade. You can see that's a lighter color, but it is a wax pomade. And this is what the powder is going to adhere to so that it creates texture and looks like real hair. So what we're going to do is we're going to apply the pomade in the front part of the eyebrow where it's sparse. Now, as you can see, when you use the pomade on the hair, do you see how it actually makes the hairs look darker? So it gives a definition with this clear pomade as well. Then we're going to take it and we're going to apply it to the sparse end, and we're going to create an arch on this side because we want to have the same height of the arch that we have on this side. And remember, we want to point out where the brow begins. So let's map her brow out. The beginning of the eye, the arch is at the outer, open your eye, outer end of the iris, and where the nose and the eye meet, that's where it ends. And remember, we have our parallel line. That's how full her brow should be. So it needs to be right in here, right? So we've already applied the pomade. Now we're going to take the powder, which is ebony, with the angle brush, and we are going to follow the hair growth. So the hairs are brushed up, so we're going to press on the powder in the same direction of the hairs. Oh my God. And then to seal and set the color in place all day, Brow Fix X, brushing up. And so now we filled in the sparse areas. So we'll repeat that on the other side. So we begin where the eyebrow begins, where the eye, above the eye, the arch, open your eye, the outer end of the iris, where the nose and the eye meet, and then how we get our line. And you can see under here how it's void of hair. So we're going to take the wax pomade and we're going to fill that area in so that the powder has the pomade to adhere itself to. And then at the outer edge. This side she has an arch, so we don't have to add to that area. And it's really important to not over add powder to different areas. It looks too artificial. We at SENNA like the brows to look full, groomed, and natural so that it doesn't look like you have painted on brows. They look too heavy, like where your brows walked in before your face did. So you want to make sure that it's very delicate and that the hairs, where you're filling in the hairs, look exactly like where she does have bulk of natural hair. That's really, really important, making it look really natural. Dramatic, but yet natural, real. I mean, full brows are so on trend and everybody wants them and everybody can have them. Especially with our Brow Definer Duo, it is really a miracle. Brow Pro brush, Brow Definer Duo, set with Brow Fix, you're ready to roll.